Mabiga, Unsun Garinagu. Welcome to Inside the Music, and I'm your host, yours truly, Greg P. I decided to do this series in honor of our ancestors' sacrifice for the survival of our music. We are now living some perilous times, losing our musicians daily, who preserved plus played on the tracks we listen to and love today. We want to thank each and every one of them for sharing their unique experience with us on this platform. So on that note, go grab something to eat. Maybe get a nice cool refreshment or a nightcap. Then relax, kick back, and enjoy the program. I got a lot in store for you, so now stay tuned. For the youths that don't really speak the language, and the visitors that will drop in and look at this video and want to know what language we're speaking in Garifuna, and it's an Arawakan with Carib and a little bit of Spanish in it, mix. And French. We have a little French in it. Yeah. However, I want my aunt to translate now for the younger kids, younger Garifuna. I call them Gar-American, my auntie.
Yes.
Also, earlier you told them, where were you born?
Yeah. So anyway, I am Martha Martinez. I am Ovado-Martinez. I was born in Dangriga, go to Sacred Heart School,
Who was the principal then, remember?
We have nuns. Sister Mary of the Rosary was our first big principal in Dangriga. Sister Mary of the Rosary.
That's that,
Yes,
yes. Thank you for that one.
Yes, Sister Mary. Then behind her, the other ones come, So we go to school to Sacred Heart, and some people say they were rough to us, but they were putting the right thing into us, because the first thing in life with a younger person, they say charity begins from home. You have to teach your kids from home. Right. We, the parents, are the first teachers to our kids, before you let them go out there.
Right.
Because that's your baby, you love them, but what's the use you love them and you don't train them?
Right.
So that's the discipline that we had when we were younger back home. We get discipline from our parents, and we get discipline from our teachers in school. Some people don't like them, not too rough, they were this, but they were trying.
But they made us better people.
Because as I had mentioned earlier, when we were in school and we grown up, we all separate, some come to America, some go to different places. We met our first principal, Sister Mary of the Rosary, those years.
You got to be there afterwards.
Yeah, they came back here because most of them, they came from America to go teach in Dangriga.
So you saw her out here in the States?
Yeah, we met her.
Wow.
Yeah, there was one time we met her, and I think it was Theophilus Castillo who brought Sister Mary of the Rosary to his house, and he tell us, okay, Sister Mary of the Rosary will be at my house, who want to come and greet her and remember her. And then it was a Sunday, and then some of us went there. So some of them remind her, because she used to have a paddle that when
it looked like it was handed down.
Yeah, because they used to use paddle, lash the guys, or to spank, lash you in your hands. Then somebody remind her about, when you were in Dangriga, when you were younger, you were so rough to us, you used that paddle. Then she said, you know what? Most of us, you're going to remind me about my paddle, but that paddle makes you good citizens of today.
Yes.
And that was a true word. Yeah. We try to help you guys in disciplines, and look at you now. You are good men and women of today because of discipline.
You're going to come look for her.
Yeah. Well, she was surprised when we get together.
Now I want to touch another subject.
Okay.
I hear some people say that we weren't allowed to speak Garifuna in the schools.
In my time, yeah.
Was it?
No, well, I can't say much about that because nobody had no my teacher, no none had no would say don't talk that. Maybe some people here, but I personally, because when we are in school, in the class, we talk English.
That's what we
Only when like recess time, we outside playing, maybe we would talk few of the Garifuna way. But they never stop me originally. I don't hear that from them. But some people say they stop them from talking Garifuna. But I'm sorry about that. But I was not in that category, because we speak Garifuna home. Everything was Garifuna home. Even though we had different people like neighborhood, like the Creole people.
Right.
We had a lot of amongst us, And some of those Creole people learned Garifuna from us.
You have Chinese people that speak Garifuna.
That's right. That's right. There was the different way of we growing up, and I had appreciated the way we were brought up. So some people said that, but I can't say yes because, and most of all, as I understand, there was a lot of people, men, teachers, they send them out district to teach.
Yes.
Yes. Some stayed in Danguga, some go to
that was one of them.
Correct.
Yes. And he has a whole story about that about how they separated them around that time. And that brings me to this question now. Mm-hmm. How much do you know about TV Ramos and what he did for us, and did you witness one of his speeches or that type of stuff?
Yeah.
What do you know?
When I was growing up with Mr. TV Ramos, that man was a farmer. And first of all, I want the people to know that maybe they learn already. Thomas Vincent Ramos was not a Belizean. He came from Honduras. He was the one. That's why most of the history of our ancestors, it's been stated in Honduras. So Mr. TV Ramos leave his country, Honduras, to come to Belize, to Dangria, to teach us about the culture. Okay? He was the first man that we learn about, that he come, to tell us about our culture. He bring it from Honduras. But when he got there, he married there. He went to farm. I remember that man was a very busy man.
Citizen too.
Yeah. In my younger days, he go to farm. He make like lemonade. He make like candy man face, we call them.
I remember them.
Yes. He started all that in Dangriga.
Okay.
And then he started talking
Self-sufficient.
he started talking to the elders. The elders are all gone. That he went to and talked with them that they have to do something to bring out about our ancestors, about our language, And there was few women that work with Mr. Ramos. And when he would go so-called campaigning, some people would just make fun at him.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Too.
The hurricane lamp, sometimes when he have meetings, he have hurricane lamp to help him see going through the street, telling the people about the Garifuna duel. But some just make fun at him and don't even look at him. But he never gave up.
That's the key.
He never gave up until he get few strong people, I heard about this man, Mr. Bengushe, yes, and Mr. Cayetano, quite a few that they combine with him and they start to understand where he's coming from. And he fighted with the governor, with the people in Belize, so that they could understand where he's coming from. Because when you want to do a big event like what he started it, you have to involve the government.
Yes.
And according to what I understand, how many trips he make explaining to them to Belize. And especially, he was not a Belizean.
Right.
But he fight that through so that they could have allow him to continue his work with the people that really believes in him, and so that they can show him that we are not ordinary people. We were good people. Our ancestors had been driven from St. Vincent. They make them suffer there, because they know they were strong people. According to them, when those English people leave those people there at the island of Balisau, they thought that they would never find living ones there. They went back and said, you still find people here still living?
The water.
That they could kill them.
Yes.
But God was good with them, and then they fight it through. It was a long suffering.
Yes.
And so he wanted to share it with the world, about the Garifuna people. It's a long history, but it's something good to understand how those first set of ancestors, had survived.
Right.
And then they leave it to us. And that's one of the importance with Mr. T.V. Ramos. He came down to share his experience and what he learned about the culture. He was not a Catholic, because he was a Methodist.
Yes.
He was not a Belizean, he was an Andrian. But he come to work in the Anglican to show them, and to let us learn about ourselves today, And then when they now come to ignore and change it up, it hurts for us, especially who live it, who see it. It hurts to see the big changing, in it, in the culture. He came to teach us, and that's why we are proud Garinagu today. So I beg you, younger people, be a leader. There must be one Garifuna man who would stand up like T.V. Ramos to be our leader. We don't have a leader since Alejo and Shetue Beni has gone. That's why we are corrupted today. Shetue and Alejo Beni, they were the people that lead the ancestors to help them fight, why they could survive today. Why we are here today and be proud today, of our drums, of our songs, and of our history, When the best food that Garifuna people love in my younger days, cassava bread and beef planting that we call hudut. Today, it's not only Garinagu cooking and selling hudut. That's when I heard there's other nation making hudut. They used to, ridicule us about our food. But those were the best food.
Our food expensive.
And then when they said we eating organic here, we grow up organic.
Right.
That's where we go. That's why we are strong today.
Yes.
And live long, because we all believe in younger, my age, the elder one, lives on, grow up on organic, straight from the ground to you, straight from the sea to you. No preservative, no nothing. That's why there is a lot of sickness here today, because we don't know what we're eating through preservative, through this, through this. So don't let them fool you with organic. We grow up on organic. Everything is fresh.
Then they say coconut has electrolytes there.
And now they want to be number one. We grow up on coconut. My mother, my grandmother, they don't even used to use other fat. They use coconut fat. They cook with coconut. My grandmother lived to be a 90.
For us.
Thank you. They go to farm, they walk, they eat everything fresh, even the fruits. But fruits here, they spray them, they do all kind of poisoning with it. But we grow up with fresh and healthy food. And that's why I was trying to tell one or a few of the people that are around me, all right, your kids are, and that's why I had really want to get in to work with kids. Because I start noticing from my family, they have kids here. And when they were younger, like, they're Americans, I'm American. So one day I sit down and I say, how will I get it into you? That you're born American, but you have Garifuna, which is a cultural thing in you.
DNA.
So I decided to work with kids.
And that's beautiful.
To teach them. Yes.
I saw your groups. You had some young kids dancing.
We
So
teach them dance.
Yes.
We teach them language. We teach them the Garifuna way.
Yeah.
And then we tell them how we grow up back home.
Right.
Sometimes they will look at me and tell them, we didn't have any refrigerator when we were younger. We didn't have cars.
Telephone.
We didn't have telephone worse.
Television.
So one had asked me, how do you guys live? But we were happy.
Yes.
You know why? We always was together.
Yeah. We didn't miss what we didn't have.
When
we had ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
When we were young, our family go to the farm, we go to the school. We learn English in school. When we come home, okay, that English will stay over there, but Garifuna will be here in this house. So that's why I learned both language through our parents.
Right.
Because I remember when my grandmother, the older people, they don't even know a word in English.
No.
When like the authorities would come and want to talk to them, they'll have to call one of us to interpret for them.
I've never heard my grandmother speak English.
That's right, because they never use another language but Garifuna. So they put that into us. Some of them, when they hear you talk this broken Creole, talk your language, fluent in your language. Don't pick up other language. Either you talk English to me or talk Garifuna to me. That's the way we were brought up.
Yes. That's the way it was in our home
and that's
too.
why, that's why I had get into children to work with them, to teach them the way we live, what kind of language we talk.
Again, beautiful point. But I want you to speak to the leaders that are trying to be leaders like you. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, because like those guys, like some of them want to be leaders, but you have to know how to start to be a leader.
Right.
It's not only dancing. No. When we used to go make some shows, afterward people learn about us, through the release consulate, they deal with us, they always talk to us about certain things. They would invite us, to make a show. I will have to make sure that we have artifacts.
Right.
Because artifacts will mostly show who you are. You just can't go up there with your two hands and dance.
Yeah.
They don't want to see dancing too much.
No.
You
What about when I ask to explain the dances, the songs?
They can't answer that. And each dance that a Garifuna do, they have a meaning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have genres, different
All
styles.
Right. Correct.
Yes.
Because I remember way back when we started have dinner dance. I wasn't really into dinner dance, but to make other people come in to see what we're doing.
Open up, right?
Some of the people, the Creole people would say, come to me and say, we don't want to see DJ, we don't want to see we're coming to see culture. The drums, the culture, that's what we're coming to see.
And you're right.
That's
right.
what they told me.
That's right. That's what the world wants.
Yeah, we don't want to hear DJ, we want to hear the drums and the singing. Yes, that's why we came here to see that. And then I start noticing there's a lot of people still remember.
Oh yeah. It's part of
our it's part of our culture and they don't forget. So when these new younger people start with this Puntarak, I'm not putting Puntarak down. It's okay. We didn't grow up with Puntarak.
Punta was
with the real drums, the songs and the drums go together.
Yes.
Without the drums, you don't feel the song, and without the song, you don't feel. Every time now people making a party, they want drums. No, not everything is drums.
Right.
Drums have an art to it.
Yes.
It needed songs. Yes. That's the rhythm for it, Right. But people are doing it any kind of way now. So you don't really get to me because they don't want to come and understand and learn. But the few who had want to come with me and we learn, we talk about it, I appreciate it and I take the time, I give them my house, we sit and we talk about the culture. Yes. It's meaningful. It's not anything that just pop out like like reggae like this.
Yeah, no.
No.
This is culture.
This is culture.
Yeah,
it have a different meaning. So I applaud the younger kids.
Saraba, 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 Saraba,
We have an inside patio and an outside patio. There, if you come here and the parking lot is full, there is enough parking space to park. Located right here on 3655 South Grand Avenue. Now I'm right here. I've been dreaming about this for the longest, and it finally came through. When I was a little kid, I used to work in Curacao. I was a jack of all trades. She did it all. She used to work for these Oriental people up in Curacao, doing Chinese food and all. She used to get down. But my great grandmother, it was Da. She cooked something out of nothing. Well, a lot of people don't know what to do now. Just basse and onion and a piece of fish in it, so and just eat that with you got cassava or some white rice. And that one the best meal you could ever have. Just the oil from the fish. Natural. And if you don't want it, you can just eat that with the right baruru. Boy, if they don't beat that already, boy, you're good to go. Man, that was some lovely days to other snacks. We just out the bontan. My granny used to make. I used to love that. First thing I used to ask her. We make a killing with it bone soft, bread soft. The other house they do that, they don't do that nowhere else. So they influenced me a lot when I went to school, and it just enhanced my seasoning more, made me a better person. When my Uncle Hall came from Belize, he was like, you got a talent, utilize your talent. You see, you're a good cook. And that's where I got into it. This one I got at the best facility you could come through. If you want to sit down and eat, we got an inside patio, we got an outside patio. Fresh breeze. It's a first come, first basis. And just enjoy yourself. It's like a welcome atmosphere. Yeah, Belize and home. No more than that. Come support the thing. All Caribbean people, it's a good look. It's a blessing, man.
Saraba, 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 Saraba.
Okay, like there's a lot of young kids who see Wanaragwa here.
Yes.
Okay, but I blame the parents. You just can't bring your kids to dance Wanaragwa a few days before Christmas. Bring them, let them practice, let them understand reason for Jankunu. Everything that a Jankunu wear, it have a meaning. But they don't know.
When I was a kid and I danced the area with the old Max,
yes,
we had to practice. If you didn't practice, you couldn't dance.
You can't dance, that's right.
And you have to be dressed correctly.
That's right.
You have to have your attire, the ribbon, you have to be
You have to know, because when they put that shells on, they could dance a whole hour, it would never move, because it have an art to tie. When they put that, it face.
Yes.
Now here in LA, I see the poor young kids are dancing. Sometimes the face come off.
No.
It's
a certain way to
because when I told them
to
the last time, you come, let me show you how to dress. How a Janko know how to dress. Oh yeah, there is a special way. Yes.
In the old days, it was our grandmother used to dress us.
That's right.
You
have to have three muswe.
Yes.
So that it have that band to tighten that you don't hurt your head. You don't come off when you're shaking. Shaking is the art to Wanaragua, not jumping up there like I don't know what. But you see, they learn it here, and they don't want to come and learn the basic now with these new people. You know, I hate to see them change the culture, but there's nothing much I could do now, you know, because they don't want to learn it.
When you bite
people of today, you don't know
right.
what we had gone through. We were poor, but we were rich in God's grace. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I want to go back now. I want you to explain to them, because you touched on the Olympics. You guys went to the Olympics, you said?
Yeah, well, they allow us, you know, through, well, I don't want to mention name, but the person will know when he come and tell us, oh, we got to share, we're going to be showing up in the Olympics here at the Coliseum.
Yes, I remember that. I remember
you
that.
See that Coliseum?
84?
Yeah, that was a beautiful event here in LA.
Yes, it was big.
Yeah, that's why I would wish that they would bring back an Olympic here, so some of the new people would see what Olympic personally when you see it.
Yes.
You know, it's a beautiful event.
Yes, it is.
So we got an honor, so that we had a little time there to go to the Olympic at the Coliseum.
Yes,
you know.
landmark.
Yes. Yeah, we were for all kind of people you see. And then we had a time there that, you know, they make us sing our song, and we were there at the Coliseum at the Olympic here in 1984. The Garinagu, some of the Garinagu.
They showed it on TV. They showed it.
That's right. We were there
on the news.
And we
beautiful.
still have
made
our
me proud.
big gold medal and a book that they give us each through the culture.
Beautiful.
Through the culture.
Now, this is the lady that took us to Washington, D.C. in 2013. And played a great role with Michelle. She was always here. I used to see her here with you when I first saw her.
Yes.
And I first thought, the first thing came to me was, okay, they come in and want to rape the culture and run. But that lady stuck with us for years. She would come to this backyard and and I became a friend of hers. So when she reached out to me after because I said, have you spoken to Auntie Martha? She said, of course.
Of course she was.
That's why I'm coming to the Baba. Okay, so
that's right.
Yes, so I want you to explain to them your experience in Washington D.C., how they embraced us and how you enjoyed the time.
Because through Michelle, she was the one that always come around. She lives in San Diego, but everything we have
she rests in peace, by the way. She passed away. She was a professor at San Diego State. So go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. She always here. Anything that we do or I do, Michelle would always come and support us. She loved you.
And that was one of the reasons when she told us that she had found a spot for the Garinagu people to go to Washington.
Great.
So I didn't have that in mind. So when I told Michelle, no, I have few people in the group, so we can choose some to go. She said, no, you is the one that we really want, you know, to go and present your culture, you know. So give us some pictures. We give her some of the pictures to send to them. So when I told her, I'll send 2 of my girls, but I don't think if I'm going, you know. She said, no, Martha, you are the important one that they want.
You said you weren't going, we weren't going either.
Yes, I told her that. She said,
no,
you have to go, you know. You have to go. And that, when I got ready, she said they will send the plane ticket, and then you are the one that go explain to them about your culture, about your food, about everything. You know, so I thought about it, and then I said, okay, you know. And then when she said, you know, another time she came back, she said, they want to see the Wanaragua, few of the Wanaragua, and the music, Libanya Baba was chosen. You know, to go along with it. But that was not my chosen part. No, my part was in my group to get ready to go But my mind was telling me, these people want to see my culture, you know. So I'm going to Washington, D.C. to present myself as a Garifuna woman. But God has given me the knowledge and the sense to say, you know what? Okay, I'm going. And I get ready. I took most of my artifacts. That's why I always when I told them about my Martha, one of my artifacts on the airplane, they didn't want to put my artifacts on the plane. They call the stick, we use the Martha stick. I have to take that Martha stick with me, because that's one of the main ones to explain to her what this do. You know, yes. So when I was getting ready to get in a plane, they said, sorry, you can't take this with you because they call it a weapon. I said, oh my God. I tell the people, you know. Well,
so did you get the Martha stick on the plane?
Oh yes, but it wasn't easy getting it on the plane. As I said, these people want the culture, and I know what the culture is all about. So I decided what to take along with me, you know. So I have the original cassava bread that I had here. I had to take some of that so that when they ask me, I can show them. And then I took the grater and I took the Martha stick, which was one of the important in the Garifuna life.
Yes.
The Martha and the stick. So I was on the airport with my stuff, putting it on. They stopped me and they said, well, this won't be able to go. Okay, let me tell you something. And if this so-called weapon cannot go on this plane, I am not going. That was the way I told them. And I didn't tell them, you know, exactly where I was going, but this is important to my culture. And I'm going to present my culture. So they call the big man, the manager, and explain to him, you know. So I told him, I'm sorry, but I'm not going on that plane. If this, you call it a weapon, cannot go on that plane. So I see he talked with two of them and said, okay, we'll take it. So they bring a lot of wrapping, maybe a whole roll of paper, and they wrap it, and tape it together. And they said, okay, it can go.
Nice.
So when we reached to Washington, they were happy to meet us, and they have everything ready for us for the next day to start our mission.
Yes.
You know.
Also, when we were in Washington, we had a makeshift kitchen built on the ground.
On the ground.
And you guys cooked every day a different Garifuna dish.
Yes. They want me the next day, you know, when we get to Washington, they put us in a hotel for the next day before we start, as I said, our mission, what particular we are there for. So they took us there. We have a kitchen set. You know, it was a big, long field, miles and miles. You know, but we have our tent and the kitchen beside our tent. So
where Martin Luther King gave his speech.
So there we are.
That's where
set
we
our
were.
Tent.
Yes.
Right. So they told me, we want you to ask us for anything you need to cook your Garifuna food. You know, anything you need, we will provide it for you. And then we will come back with tasters and then to explain to us. So I asked God, give me the strength and patience. I told them what I need. You know, the first dish I showed them was the cassava bread, how it started, because this was already ready. You know, I showed them how you started, then I took out the original one, and this is what it turned out to. You get the cassava, you washed it, you peel it, you grate it, you kind of strain it, then it comes dry, then you fluff it, sieve it, and then before you bake it the next day, we normally leave it for overnight. So it will completely drain. And then the next day, we make a big fire, and then we start baking. And this is what it comes out, and I show them, and I pull out the original one, and they smile. And they break up a piece, each of them, and they taste it, they enjoy it. That was my first work I did in the kitchen. And the next day, I make like tapo.
Yes.
You know, with the tapo means, with banana, with coconut milk, with fish. Get the banana, get the coconut milk, and I boil it and I cook it and I season it properly. a little black pepper, some onions, and when the time comes for them, because they have certain time to come around to taste it.
Yes.
And I have to explain to them. They'll ask me, how did you make this? They say, what the consists of this? I explain that to them. You know. And then it's up to the third day. I stood there for 2 weeks cooking.
Yeah, we had good every day.
Yes.
I look forward to it.
That's
It's
right.
my lunch.
So when we cook the hudut, now this is one of the specialty that the Garinagu people love. You know, with this tomato, then I pull out the tomato and the stick, and I had already boiled the plantain, green plantain, wash it, you know, take off the skin, boil it, and I explain to them because they ask you step by step,
Yes.
how did you do it?
Yes.
So I explained it, and they were so pleased with my explanation
Yes.
and what I had did with it. And the tasters, the people that want to taste it, they taste it. It's not for us because they give us our own food meal
Yes.
to do what we wanted. But all those food that I was cooking there is for the big people
Yes,
to
yes.
taste it.
Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one
to see it.
representatives. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have interpreter
was
around them,
beautiful.
you know,
Yes.
and they were so happy.
Yes.
And our tent, you know, was the largest tent
Yes.
and the fullest tent.
Busiest.
I had to stop the music sometimes. I told the guys,
True.
they were so happy to be around us.
Yes, they loved it.
They loved it
Yeah.
so much.
And they brought school children.
Yes.
Yes, because I was teaching art.
Art,
art
you
art
know,
on the side. Yeah,
correct.
Wadua.
Georgette was
Yeah,
teaching
Georgette,
them,
like, was
you know, music, you know,
yes.
and dancing.
Yes.
So all different kind of,
Beulah.
yes,
Yeah,
you know.
they knew.
We teach them. But the
Yes.
important part for them was the one that they keep me there for 2 weeks, you know, to cook and explain to them
Yes.
what it consists of, how it done.
Yes.
And then when they take me to a room with 3-4 people with there, they want to hear me talk the Garifuna.
They recorded.
Not the English one.
No.
I'll say to myself, how will they understand what I'm saying? But
No,
they don't.
they were
They
documenting.
document it.
Yes.
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 And they had
It's
interpreters.
official. Yes.
You know, so while they
Yes.
explain, they ask me a lot of questions and I answer it. And I talk to Garifuna, I make like a speech in Garifuna.
Yes.
And they were so happy.
You were a representative. You did a good job. I'm proud of how it all turned out.
Yes.
And it was beautiful.
And
It was-
all this, you know, when we finish from there, I would say, thank you, Jesus. Look at what culture did. And I begin to feel more happier
Yes.
as they go by,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
because they're understanding and they really, really want to know.
Well, they sent a bus for us, right? Every day
Every
we
day
have
a
a bus,
bus pick
a big
us
bus
up by
pick
the
us up,
hotel.
yeah, for us,
You know,
and
just to
every,
go to the field.
I have to say this too. Our bus was one of the most liveliest bus
Oh,
because they
yes.
had several buses for the Hawaiians, the Russians, and everybody else that came from different parts of the world.
That's right.
But eventually, because you know we are very jovial people,
Yes.
and we would give jokes and laugh, people started hearing about our bus, and the other people started catching our bus, you
And
know,
came
and it
over to
became
our-
a big
to our
one.
tent,
Yes, yes.
You know, it was such a lovely time.
Yes.
And they loved the way we act.
Right.
They loved the way we present ourselves.
Yes.
You know, I have other people that left Los Angeles to go there because Libayan Baba was there, the Jankunu, some of the Jankunu was there, you know, and quite a few who lives there who hear about us, they came to support
We had
us.
a lot of girlfriends that
Yes,
came
we
by
have a
from
lot
the
of girlfriends in
neighboring
Washington.
states. Yeah,
And they came by
yes.
to see what
It
we
was
were doing.
beautiful.
So, my dear people, because of God's willingness and the culture that He put into us,
Yeah,
that we made to Washington, D.C. That was how many years ago?
Oh, wow, 2013.
Oh, that was 2013.
2013, yes. And it was a beautiful experience.
And that was something we'll never
Yes,
forget.
Yes, yes. The Bayan Marasa came
Yeah, from Honduras.
from Honduras.
We meet them there.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I remember them. James Lovell
They did a
also
good job.
showed up.
James Level was there with us too.
And
You know.
the first they put us on a small stage, right?
Right.
Because they didn't know anything about Garifuna per se. And we filled that stage up. Then they said, no, you guys, that stage is too small for you
Small
guys.
for us.
So they put us on the middle stage,
That's
right?
right.
And
That's right.
that wasn't enough to hold the Garifuna music and Auntie Martha and the whole crew. And Jordan, these ladies did a beautiful job. Right? And then we ended up on a main
bigger
stage,
stage, right, in a
and we
bigger
filled that
tent,
up to
yes.
the bigger tent.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and we also played in House of Congress. And my favorite
Right.
part was when Aunt Martha and the ladies did the Abay Mahani.
Abay Mahani,
We
we
started
did
out at
the
Abay
Abay
Mahani,
Mahani,
which was
yeah.
very touching
in
to
the
me.
house
Yes.
at Kennedy's
Yes,
Center.
Kennedy said,
Center.
oh yeah, you
were there in Kennedy
yeah.
Center.
Well, I forgot about that.
Oh
you know.
yeah, we
yeah,
were
that
there.
was beautiful
It was
too.
a beautiful time
Yes.
after all, but it was kind of scary when you first got there because we don't know really
Intimidating. What we were
Yeah,
gonna do,
but
when, how,
right.
Yeah, but
But
we knew
pull
what
out
to
a good
represent. Yeah,
time
we
and a
delivered.
good job.
Yes.
And they praise us.
Yeah.
Then the lady come to me and say, "You gonna be in,
Oh
in the
yes,
Black Museum,
in the museum.
Center."
Yes, yes, that up there.
So-
And you had interviews by yourself.
Oh yeah, they
Because I
interviewed
went and
me.
I took a couple of pictures.
Correct, you know.
And then we had a collective interview. I'm not sure where they took us, but it was
Yeah,
few of us.
Every day they have something to do with us, you know.
Yes, and that was beautiful.
But the best part about it, we know how to present ourselves.
yes, I was proud the way you
We
the
present
way
it,
you
know.
articulate to them.
Because it's the culture.
Yeah,
I have
it's
already
in
learned the
you.
culture
Yes.
and know the culture.
Right,
So that's
right.
why I didn't get scared because
Right,
every
right.
question they ask me in the Garifuna life, I
Yes,
can
you
answer
did.
it.
Yeah, you did.
And that's the best part
Yes,
about it.
yes.
But it's the best way when you know
Right.
what to
Learn
say.
from the
Because
elders.
people are coming from nowhere and ask you
Yeah.
certain questions.
Yeah.
You know,
On the spot.
On the spot,
Yeah,
right?
so you
and
have
you
to
have to know
answer.
exactly
Yes.
how to answer them.
Mhm.
Before we leave Washington D.C., I say, "Thank you, Lord. I didn't know I was going to be here
Yes,
to see
it
the
was-
big White House, to see the
Right.
Kennedy Center, to
Yes.
see Ali. But because of culture
Right.
and humbleness,
Yes,
that's
yes.
the
Took us
important
there.
part
Yes.
in life. Humbleness.
Yeah.
You had made me come to this land.
All the museums.
Yes.
I also got to see MLK's big statue.
You're right,
the
right
big
there.
stone statue when they first put it up. Yeah, so that was beautiful too. You know.
It is beautiful, my people. Presentation is important. You know, not education. Because there are so many educated people, but there are something that they lost. You know, you have to learn and educate ourselves and believe in God to teach us the right way. Because we alone would never make it.
Well, it's the grassroots that carry the culture, right? The people them that are stuck with the old ways, you know, and taught all of us,
Right.
you know.
And that was one of the important things that we, the older one that came, left home to come here, teaches us.
You guys are the
Keep it-
pioneers.
Yes.
Yes.
But some of the younger children would say, I don't believe them. They don't believe us when you talk to
And
them.
that's where they
about
lose.
certain- And they are where they
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
You know, everything we try to show them is the real thing.
Yes.
Is the real thing.
Yes. Authentic.
So-
Beautiful.
I want to leave this message to the younger people, to the younger Garifuna people. As I had mentioned to you when I was working with the younger groups, there was some friends of them, American born, real American. They love it. They say, Auntie Martha, they even call me Auntie Martha, young American girls. Can I join your group? So I had to smile and say, if you wanted it, they said, sure. I even joined the two real American
Yes.
young people.
I asked about one girl, who
Yeah.
she dance spontan. They
Right.
said, I said, who's
Because
people? She said,
they love
she's
it.
American.
Yeah.
I was
They love
shocked. Yes, yes.
So don't discourage your children from being a Garifuna. That is such a wrong way to do things with the younger people. You know, the young American, real Americans was in my group and they were happily enjoying what we were doing.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
I
sure.
told them sometimes don't feel bad when we speak our language because
Right.
this is our originally way of talking to ourselves, you know. And they don't care, they enjoy everything we do. Now what is wrong with our own people? Sometimes when we're looking for candidates in those days, when we need younger kids, oh, they're not going, they can't talk Garifuna. Don't say that because of you. Oh, they won't win. We're not talking about winning.
Right.
We're talking about presentation, to present our culture, ourselves. Be proud of that you can stand up here in front of people and present yourself as a proud Garifuna
True.
young person,
Yes.
you know. So keep it up. Be stronger now, you know. Hold it. Don't let it go. If you hadn't cared for those years and I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to say. Ragumai, hold it. It's something beautiful to hold on. Nidu no matter who. Irahanyo. Laule nigger. Seremi.
Now remember, these series will be aired monthly, giving recognition to our unsung heroes and heroines in our communities. We want to give these living legends their daisies and flowers now, while they're still alive, for preserving our culture. And so, till the next episode, reach out to your loved ones. After this pandemic, I hope we all realize how fragile life could be. Well, by now, you guys should know what you're supposed to do. We got to keep supporting our music. That's the only way we're going to rise together. Sidebar, the diaspora. Let's not forget our traditional values. Keep teaching the next generation our language and culture.